This is 4th division of the 3v3 group stage, best of 3. TAW, the Art of War clan versus Midu's team, which is the Strange Uncles. What do we give it the origins of that name, but maybe they'll tell me sometime. The picks are as follows: Nomad for TAW. I hope Happy the Andy isn't playing. He's not a big fan of Nomad. Chaos Pit for the Strange Uncles. That's going to be a nice and messy one. And moving on to the Band Down system to show Amazon Tunnel as the designated neutral map. Now, for Amazon Tunnel, you will want one or several good siege civilizations. So we have some contenders here, Bohemians and Slavs. And possibly Portuguese as well. Feitorius could come in handy. Bengalis for the monks, also an option. It would be semi-decent for Nomad as well, as their ships heal. Valiants, a go-to Nomad sim for sure. Japanese could be a Nomad sim as well. Incas. Chaos Pit prep. Franks, almost definitely Chaos Pit. But it could arguably also be Paladins for Amazon Tunnel. But I think Bohemian Slavs and... It's not like you have to have a Paladin sim for Amazon Tunnel. Maybe it's Bengalis for with the elephants as well. But you need some kind of power unit, I think, to push that choke point. In addition to the siege. Could be Goths, actually. Goths, Bohemian Slavs, for example. For TAW, they've secured Persians for Nomad. That's almost a given. Italians probably as well. Berbers could be one. For Amazon Tunnel, probably Mongols. Turks comes to mind. Maybe even Saracens. But Saracens, maybe more likely for Chaos Pit. And Byzantine's last pick. A little bit of an off placement there. But without further ado, let's just hop into Amazon Tunnel and see what they bring us for the first game. Here we go. So the Goth father. Unfortunately not playing the Goths for this one. They didn't pick the Goths for Amazon Tunnel. Neither team. Don't remember which of them drafted it, but no Goths. The Goth father plays his Persians. Going to play the Paladin role here most likely, or even more elephants if you can get the castles up. There's plenty of relics in the middle here. 2, 4, 6, 7 relics. I don't know if that's common or not. I think I saw 5 relics the last Amazon Tunnel game I casted, but that was just the ones collected. Maybe there are more total. Irion in the yellow. Turk's pocket, not that pocket positioning matters much on this map, but in the middle here. Gonna provide some gunpowder units, maybe a faster Imperial Age for some map control with the bombard towers and also the bombard cannons with +2 range from the unique technology, artillery. And finally we have Dega here with the Mongols. Dangerous in the late game on a map like this, where they get access to their unique technology for the siege drill, which boosts the speed of siege units, so both siege rams and siege onlookers will be extra deadly with that upgrade. But they could also, if you keep the map open and deny the other side walls, you could go up real early with the Mongols and play the scouts and be proper annoying. Seen that as well sometimes. As for the Strange Uncles, we have Mr. Fluffy Bunny in the grey as the Vietnamese here. The map is explored, so but still you get to at least know the placement of the town centers, how they're laid out. Probably not the most useful information. That's not the reason for the Vietnamese. In fact, I don't know why it's gone for the Vietnamese here, but they have strong archers, ranged options. And arguably good economy as well, with the eco upgrades not costing wood. in the pocket position where Midu with the Slavs. That's kind of expected. Cheaper siege weapons for the Slavs as a bonus. They have bowyards from the castles. They even have cheaper castles with the unique technology, the detonets, that gives, well, transforms some of the stone cost from castles to wood instead. So if you research that, you'll be able to get your castles out early. It looks like they've already had a scouts fight, have they? Oh, why have you lost? Yeah, probably attacked the villager or something. Why has Midu lost HP here? Doesn't matter. I think... Are they gonna get the walls up here? Finally, we have Happy the Addy with the Bohemians, by the way. He'll want to get to the deadly late game with the Bohemians with Wufnitze and extra powerful Bombercam. Maybe some Houseite Wagons. They've become strong as well with the recent patch. And hello guys, thanks for stopping by or for letting me know it's a good set. That's good to know. Yeah, late game death ball for the Bohemians. That'll be a nice one as well. That's one builder down for B2. Not succeeding in walling here. Good usage of the starting scouts for TAW here. They are desperate to keep the walls from completing here because Dega is already on the way to the Fuel Age with the Mongols. Not close enough for it to impact the scouts fight here. We still have one scout left here from Mr. Fluffy Bunny. And another just one villager moving out from Midu here. Is that gonna be enough? I wonder. Looks like TAW have pulled back as well, but here comes a barracks from the Mongols player 4 villagers building that one. Suggests to me that there might be some walling in addition to that stable that's going to be put up, built shortly. Oh, it's low on wood. Is probably collecting stragglers here to compensate. No. That's going to be tight to afford that stable. And besides, the walls will complete here for Midu before the scouts can do any significant damage. Just taking no chances here once we get those speedy scouts out as soon as possible, but they haven't. They managed to delay the walls, but they did not manage, however, to stop the walls completely. So the strange uncles, once these walls complete, are already at an advantage because the quick feudal age and the scouts, and I don't even know what the Turks are up to here, but the scouts opening isn't going to give TAW anything in particular here. There's also lots of villagers for a 17 pop up to move to the middle of the wall here. Two Turks villagers moving forward. Ah, scouts, archers. Okay, if you add some archers, I suppose you could deny that second layer of walls. But it's going to take a while before that scout is indeed out. Might need to pull all of these villagers forward to pull down the palisade walls if so. But the only player not clicked up yet is Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Is maybe had some food imbalance here. So 1 minute 33 idle time. But it could be that one of his teammates has taken one of his boars as well. That they have some resource sling going there that I didn't notice. I don't know why it's lagging that far behind, since Midu is the one walling in the middle here. First archer is ready. That needs to be here now to deny these walls from completing. No need to... Ah, here it comes. It's good. Let's see if TAW can actually break through here. They are slightly behind in economy, even with the strange uncles committing to walling much earlier. But Jared's still curious about my rank. Good luck with that. I think that bot has retired or something. Bohemians are a quite common pick on this map. I think. Good monks, good siege, good to have in a choke point. Yeah, good draft then. No fletching yet for the Turks archers, but the Midway is moving further behind to place some stone walls. I think he needs to commit more builders, and he does indeed do so. To rush up those walls now, a tower with the 2 forward builders from the Turks as well. Not quite what the Strange Uncles are expecting, perhaps. Archers here to deny that last piece of palisade. Once that tower completes, you're going to more efficiently get through. I think you'd want to commit the villagers now to attack this palisade rather than the scouts once that tower completes. Because, yeah, there we go, they're coming. Because the villagers have bonus damage against buildings. Oh, they're really panicking to get these walls up now, but I think it's going to be fine. It's 5 builders rushing up these walls. That's a massive drain on the economy for Mido, but Mido is about to kick to the gas stage. TAW have 2 players stuck in the village for a while longer. That is a clutch wall from the Strange Uncles. Just in the nick of time getting those ones up. Did I speak too soon? That's 1 builder down. Fletching is in. Wheelbarrow for both of the Feudal Age players as well. The Godfather, however, going for a Persian's Boom here to be able to get into. It remains to be seen, but it's probably going to be cavalry paladins to begin with. But if you have a large enough boom and you have the back control and potential for it, might see War Elephants here as well. Akkal is 3k, indeed. Would be a ring of unbuildable rock terrain around both forests. That would defeat the purpose of this map, I think. I think it would be far from as popular as it is now. If that was the case. I don't understand why people keep voting for this map, but apparently it's popular. Retail centers for Happy Dandy as well, going to boom into those mighty late game Bohemians units. While Mr. Fluffy Bunny has added the Vietnamese archers, not quite matching the numbers of the Turks player. I don't think we're going to see any significant action here for a while yet. So I'll just take the liberty of speeding it up a little bit. Probably going to see some castles setting up in the middle. The good thing about Strange Uncles, the good thing for the Art of War of Strange Uncles walling this far behind is basically TAW could collect almost all of the relics. So all players in the Castle Age now, except for Mr. Fluffy Bunny, still stuck in the Feudal Age, just kicked the Castle Age. While the Strange Uncles have moved a little bit forward. Okay, now we can slow down a little bit here to show the fight. Turks going for the crossbows. Long term, you're not going to benefit from having those crossbows as the Turks, because they don't get arbalest in the Imperial Age, but looks like Arion is determined to play the crossbows here for a while longer. Get all the relics, but are they collecting them? That's the question. Not yet. More villagers for TAW, more villagers as well. I somehow managed to take an eco advantage here. More town centers is probably the explanation for that. So we're going to into massive booming mode here. But you could say the same about the Strange Uncles. 2 players on 4 town centers, slabs, farms. Even before the most recent buff, they have fast and efficient farmers. It's 5 town centers total for Mr. Fluffy Bunny now. It's a means to compensate and try to catch up with TAW, I think. Oh, and now a Persian's lasting forward. Are we going to go straight for the war elephants here? That would be a flex move. Except you're up against Bohemians monks, and Slabs monks for that matter, so it's not really viable, but it's a pretty epic unit, so why not? I would like to see them collect the relics, so where are the monasteries? There's no point in contesting the map that early if you're not going to benefit from collecting the extra resources as well. Yeah, Castle going up a little bit further behind. I guess the Godfather will be... He was the first one to Castle Age and to the multiple theses, so he will probably also be the first to Imperial Age as well. So he's going to have trebuchets out well ahead of the opposing team. What do you think of the Persians rework? I think it's fine. It's a little bit of a cheaper paladin with comparable stats. So it kind of joins in with Burgundians with not faster access to paladins, but or a little bit faster maybe because it's cheaper. There we go, finally collecting the relics as well. The other bonuses are a little bit more questionable, like the castles being almost undestroyable from the hills, but it remains to be seen. There are not... They will still be persons will still be able to pick throughout the rest of the league, so maybe we'll see them. The new DLC civilizations will not be an option. The Persians need to be bad forever. Why? They've had their moments. They were pretty good the first time the Commander on Tech was introduced as well. He's going for the War Elephant! This guy is not joking around, he's going right for the War Elephants. Granted, the Godfather has a decent boom, resources in the bank, lots of food on gold. That's enough on food on gold to sustain 1 castle production of War Elephants, by the way. And barely even the town centers behind that, not that you need that with 100 something villagers, but I commend the efforts. It's just that Happy the Andy already has monks out. He is on the way to the Imperial Age, and he'll even have trash monks if he decides to go for the unique technology when or if he gets a castle up at some point. So that's just not going to be an issue. Too easy for the Bohemians to get to monks with block printing here, and masses of them. So, and then you're basically giving away the War Elephants for free, because to my knowledge, Persians don't get heresy, and probably, even if they had it, wouldn't be researching it very soon. Looks like we're going to have a 3rd castle, are we? No? Yes? Breakthrough. Persians, Imperial Age, as is Happy the Andy. So he will have Hufnisa to deal with the Persian trebs. He will be able to add monks to deal with the world. Even halberdiers for the Bohemians will do decent enough here. He's getting the upgrades, he's planning some kind of infantry shenanigans here. Don't think he's expecting the world. I don't think he's expecting 3 Persians castles in the back here. Well, that's the third one. But who knows? It's pretty epic if it works, but I'm not convinced. Even though the Persians have a good boom. If you're caught by 40 war elephants by surprise, though, you're going to have to rush those monks out in full panic mode, but we have 3 players here that... NDC has access to monks, so it's not like the Bohemians will need to make them alone. Yeah, and Bohemians help and Regina help as well. Fair point. 40 bonus damage against cavalry for the Bohemians helps, mind you. That's not to be joked about. And there are only 15 war elephants out. Only 16 war elephants, but they have 7,200 HP. Look at the army value. This is ridiculous. That's because of the gold spending on the war elephants mainly. Mongols with the Mangudai as well. I guess you could make an argument for the Mangudai sniping halberdiers and or bombard cannons and monks, but they are also weak to potential conversions. Yeah, that's a nice comparison, isn't it? And there's Elite even, was it? Elite War Elephant now? Oh boy. Twice the military value for TAW, but aside for the surprise factor, which isn't that much of a surprise considering Happy the Andy has some monks out. He even has block printing, so he's prepared to... And I'm pretty sure he got conscription a while ago, actually. Conscription, I meant redemption. He did get redemption at the 26-minute mark. Large and die large. There we go. Looks like we're dying large already with the... Oh, there's no point in trying to repair this against... Against how many soon-to-be Hofnieces? At least 5. Takes a long while to research though. So that's one castle down for the Persians, and what do you do when the castles are down? We need to switch into some more generic cavalry unit. Let's see the food gold setup here. We'll still be able to view war elephants out of the 2 castles, but looks like we might be pop capped here. 150, 80. I might need a few houses. It's because the castle got lost, so still some potentially. I mean, the helps aren't really an issue in equal numbers here. You definitely need more halberdiers to clean up these war elephants, but there are monks in the back here, and Persians don't yet heresy, so any converted unit will indeed be converted and join the Korean army. Nisa is in as well. Could maybe get some nice shots in on the Elite Mangudai over here. Strange Uncles also fully boomed behind this. Looks like Fluffy Bunny is mainly committing to trade. It's going to go into some Rattan Archers as well. They would probably be useful against the Mangudai long term. Need more monks. Yeah, you're not wrong, Tech Chariot, but with the halberdier spam should be okay as well, because war elephants are so expensive that I mean, yes, there's trade, but they're still expensive, gold and food wise. So it's a commitment. You need a lot of eco population to sustain the elephant production in the first place, and there are only, in quotation marks, 3 castles to produce the war elephants from. And the wise move would obviously be for Happy the Andy to make some monks here too. Some more monks here to just get juicy conversions in and not have to worry about them, but they don't seem very worried. I would be a little bit worried about the Hofnice in front here, especially with artillery bombard cannons in the back there. They have 1 more range than the Hofnice, but TAW aren't really going any places just yet either. Elite War Elephant. Just skip the whole balance step here. What's with the Siege Tower? Siege Tower. Castle drop, is that the idea? Not too convinced about that. Rattan Archers joining the party as well, who needs being kept safely behind the halberdiers and Rattan Archers. And I suppose Elite Bowyars for the slabs. Siege Tower is a misclick. Fair enough. Still the military value though, 22k to 13k. needs is so unfair. Well, it takes a while to get there. It's an expensive upgrade. But on a map like this, throw point map like this, maybe it's a bit unfair. Yeah. It is contested by the Turks' artillery more cannons though, because they have one more age. So that's probably one of the few units in the game that can actually contest the Hupnitze. Good micro from Happy the Andy there, doesn't lose even the weak ones there, if not in that volley either. Trying some attack rounds here for the yellow player, but not really getting any great hits. Ooh, flexing with deleting the walls now. Do we have enough units here to justify that though? There's a significant lower army for the strange uncles overall here. There are 43 elite war elephants out and about, and there aren't nearly enough monks to get the conversions in. Why aren't there monks on the field? More monks on the field at that point? I mean, granted, you probably don't expect instant elite war elephant focus on this map, but still, when you see the first wave and see they are committed, then you need more monks on the field. All the deletion was a mistake. Maybe. Maybe. But the war elephants are going down to both conversion and to the rat launchers and whatnot. Also, Turks and Cannoneers joining in here. They could be going down easily to the elite rat launchers. But then again, elite rat launchers, they don't have protection against gunpowder in the same way, so if they get too close, they might suffer from it. Another Persian castle going up here, 18 elite war elephants now. Faith being researched even. I think that allows the monks to heal up units more quickly. Maybe the Godfather is planning to add some monks in the mix here to heal up the war elephants as they go. It's still a powerful combination here, but they're not really making much progress. But in this map, Amazon Tunnel is kind of slow and choke pointy as well, so it takes a while to get there. All the gears now out. That will be an option to widen the middle a little bit more, take out some wood lines and maybe get some raids in, but there isn't really any population space for any raids here. I guess you'd want the Turks maybe to go into Hussar here rather than the Persians, because the Turks don't really need to research anything to get to Hussar. Perfect to try drilled siege, but the Bohemians are redemption. Yes, but the Bohemians needs to make numbers as well. Oh, that's what Faith does. Yeah, one of the few technologies in the tech tree of the monastery for the Persians. And it's not unfortunate that Persians don't have heresy. The reason that the war elephant exists is because the Persians don't have heresy. Imagine not risking losing war elephants to enemy monks when you're bouncing them like this. They would stampede, exactly, because you wouldn't be giving your opponent units. You would still lose them, yes, but then you just replenish. It would be like when you had a trade and food income behind it, you could still just spam them and you wouldn't be giving anything away. A strong unit away. I would still be a lot stronger with heresy than faith. We're gonna be here a while, aren't we? As long as the trade keeps running. It's not the longest route ever. I guess they're bringing back 40 something gold, yeah. Both sides have trade. But now the Strange Uncles slowly getting the option of pulling back. It seems a little bit harder to keep up with the War Elephant spam here. How many castles still? Four castles, okay. Well, the elephants can get it because they are weak. Now with the speed buff, they could still be interesting though. So army numbers ahead for the Strange Uncles here, but that's a lot of trash units in the mix here. Of course, if the halberdiers get close enough to the elite Mangudai, they'll still eat them alive. Yeah, both sides would definitely benefit from a broader trade route, but they need to commit most of their attention to the middle to not lose units needlessly as well. 2 players. 3 players supplying the helps at this point. Is it a gold issue? No, it's definitely not a gold issue. Look at this. Look at the gold situation here. Elite Mangudai numbers dwindling as well, but there are 6 castles to reproduce them from, replenish them from. Would want to see a Mongols tech switch here though. Mongols get heavy Scorpion as well, don't they? So you could even make an argument for those now that there's mainly. Oh, never mind. Siege on the is in. I didn't catch that they were on the field. So that's fine. You could use the Siege on yours to some extent to take out the army masses here. Drill obviously in as well because they're moving fast. But you'd still have to worry about block printing monks and not lose your own Siege on yours to enemy conversions. So, to this point, but not further for the time being. Vietnamese on the team means Imperial Skirmishers is an option as well, and it is indeed the Vietnamese themselves, so that's gone for them, which means 20% more hit points on the Imperial Skirmishers as well, as compared to other generic civilizations. The Strange Uncles just conserving most of the gold here. Oh, splatter shot! I guess not. No. Nope. No need for mobility isn't true. You need one strong cavalry civ on this map as well to eventually get into the trade and have that mobility. And having paladins, it's more usually seen paladins, one paladin civ in these kinds of matchup than the war elephants like this. But I would agree that TAW have the inferior civilizations, especially late game here. At some point we'll need to punish each other's trade though, otherwise this is just a stalemate in the middle, so long as both sides provide units to the battles. So the elephants are tanky but slow as well. So you're not going to get the elephants to the trade line, but if you have enough stables here and get some units spam going, you could eventually get some units passed to get to the trade line, and that's going to be a concern for the Strange Uncles. Of course there are castles here to stop that, but you could even cut through here with the Siege Runners and find an easier opening to the trade side. Looks like the Slabs unique technology is in as well, because there are plenty of Slabs castles going up here. Better trade for Team TAW, I have to say. Happy the Andy just barely trading, so he might face some temporary gold issues, or maybe not, because he has 16 of them. Relic situation, did we check that even? Yeah, that's 5 relics for the Turks, so that's a nice side gold income for the Turks as well. Some wallowing in the back here. Lots of elite Janissaries now. I said hand cannoneers, I think it's a mix. But of course, when you have the castles, the Janissaries are even better. Higher damage output, higher range. Makes it more awkward to go for the Halberdiers here. But then again, if the Imperial Skirmishers get close enough, they will slaughter the elite Janissaries. Yeah. That's some crazy KD, but that's also because of the trash spam of the other side. If you're looking at the gold lost versus the between the two teams here, it's obviously a lot more gold lost for the Art of War. Hussars now mixed in. I think it's just to have a speedier unit to get some raids in. It's not really going to be any food and gold struggles here. We're getting the towers up as well. Some bombard towers in the middle for the Turks to manifest the middle position here and allow the push to slowly creep further up. But I still question why we don't have more monks to deal with the war elephants. It's such a bad map, Chariot. Why does it always get like 20% of the votes in the voting? Map voting system for ranked and everything. It's a really popular map, so it can't be that bad. And there's a variety of approaches that are being played. The Brits pub team, for example, had one of the players go for a drush, and it turned out quite efficient. Drush fast castle. Amazon tunnel. Has provided players that like the closed late game choke body maps with another option. Still not true, as the map isn't walled by default like Arena, so I would argue that Arena is more stale in that regard because you can't do anything in the Dark Age at all because of the walls. The Amazon Tunnel you can, because it's open in the middle until the players get the walls up. So I'm not buying that argument, honestly. Amazon Tunnel probably has the potential for a higher variety of strategic approaches than Arena. Yep, you're still completely eliminating Dark Age and Feudal Age strategies, almost, like Charity. The only thing is tower rushing the Feudal Age. Ooh, Battle of the Elephants here. The Vietnamese elite battle elephants now out and about, and the food and gold situation of the strange uncles definitely allowing for that switch relatively easily. They've had the trade kicking in again as well. Still lower trade numbers for the strange uncles, and they have the same kind of distance. Still didn't break the trees to get better trade routes. So that would heavily benefit one of the teams if they had a longer trade route, because the gold income would be much smoother, and you could probably free up some population space by removing some trade cards. But for the time being, the trade is still way better for the Art of War, even though they are sacrificing some military population space to do so. versus Strunkers. But not so much anymore. Still some war elephants being produced, but it's obviously a lot easier to mass battle elephants as well, because they are made from stables. So you just drop more stables to outmass your opponent, basically. Getting away from the Jonkers in middle here. I think that group of Magadai are pretty much lost. Middle here. Look at the KD though, that's ridiculous for Team The Art of War to have such numbers and still not make it through. Nine Hoofdnissen now on the field. 3 elite war elephants as well, which is funny. No attempts at cutting through the woods. They just want to creep up the choke point in the middle, and the Hoofdnissen are really doing work against the castle now. It's 4 things probably in here, if it's not just the university upgrades for more hit points on the buildings, but getting tougher for TAW to hold it now. They are struggling to mass enough military here. Behind all this, they are facing 3 times as large army from the strange uncles at this point. Now, gold armies from Mr. Fluffy Bunny, while the other teammates are still just spamming the halberdiers and claiming more of the middle here to ease the halberdiers and spam into a little bit more closer to the middle here. So castles going down, middle going down. And a late Imperial gain combination supported by trade that's going to be really tough to clean up and push back for TAW. Oh, converting the Hussars even takes forever. Hussars is not really focusing on the monks. Where are the units here? Hussars for the Persians. Hoping to snipe some Hoofdnissen monks perhaps, but there are just too many units in the middle here now. I think it's paid off for the Strange Uncles to have lower trade numbers, even though the trade lines are not comparable anymore. TAW actually has a longer route to go, so they have better, more consistent gold income. Fluffy Bunny running possibly a little bit low here, but is still during the war elephants. Aye. 40 elite battle elephants on the field and more to come, whereas the teal and green players are pumping out hundreds of halberdiers here. So many that even when we get close to the Magadai, that's an issue. Elite Magadai against elite battle elephants of the Vietnamese. Also a bit of an issue here. They seem to be fully upgraded now. Treadmill Crane for Happy Andy, maybe thinking about some fortifications as well. Maybe it's just to get the other production buildings up faster. Some more stables, and they're raiding elite battle elephant on the woodland over here. Essentially just doing the Mongols a favor, to be honest. That's just villagers going down, providing population space for more units to enter, but the slow and steady push of the strange uncles is working now. Twice the military, eco population still comparable, but with slightly longer trade route now for TAW. I don't think they need as many trade units anymore. They need to feel more military. Is it a resource issue? I don't think that's a huge deal either. Wood situation. They don't need wood, do they though? I think it's fine. But I do need numbers, and they currently don't have the population space to match the army numbers of the strange uncles. 100-ish population behind as well. Oh, and down goes the relics. Are we going to see a relic heist now from the strange uncles? That would be pretty epic to see these 5 relics getting snagged by maybe by Happy the Andy, who had monks on the field already. He's even queuing a few more, in fact. So yeah, I think he's thinking about the relics. Take those away from the Turks. 10 Hofnis as well. You don't really need a lot of them to dominate, but 10 of them, basically one-shotting buildings. You see the range going down in just one volley there. The castle, probably 2 or 3 volleys. Some siege trams in front for the Slavs as well. Slavs could also add siege here. They have cheaper siege weapons, but why would you when you have a powerful Bohemians siege in front here? Strange Uncle's still behind the score, but I think that's mainly due to the kills of the Art of War, which is more than 50% in their favor, but it's gold units against trash units for the most part, so that's a huge difference here. Heavy cannons added by the Turks, probably one of the better options against the elite battle elephants here, however, maybe not as efficient as you would hope it to be. There's also one rather concerning thing about the army composition on the field for TAW. And that is that the only civilization of their 3 civilizations that gets redemption is the Turks. And you basically your best response to deal with these. I guess you have the elite Mangada, yes, but they still need to get close. But block printing monks with redemption, they almost match the range of the Hofnitsa, and they also convert the unit, so you have a powerful siege unit of your own, and lacking that option for TAW, that is an issue for the late game here. Relic heist! The monks are caught in a traffic jam, but they'll find their way over shortly enough. This is only a matter of breaching the base of TAW, though. Once this line of defense goes down, it's just absolutely no way back for TAW. I think that got the KD working for them here. Should be interesting to see the resource income overall. Surely the economic graphs of TAW is going to be higher with the kind of units that have been putting out on the field. Some of these are actually going down to the paladins here now, because the halberdiers were kind of out of position, but that doesn't concern Andy at all. There's so many resources in the bank. Can keep spamming those Hofnitsa for a long while yet. Slavs cheaper castles coming to work as well, and castles also in the back just in case of any potential cuts and trade raid attempts here. They're also putting up castles in the back of the base. like we have a champion switch for the Turks. I mean, honestly, even Imperial Skirmishers in mass would deal decently with the champion switch here. Still resources to mass up here. Godfather 170 villagers. So he won't be contributing all that much to heal even the Persians. Halberdiers now. Paladin player going for the Halberdier trash approach. Wonder if really think we need to add hand cannoneers here for his range uncles, because Slavs have better champions. If you want to go into that, you already have the boyars as well, and they when mass there's so many castles to mass the boyars from, so it's 11 castles for Vidu. So you could just make boyars to deal with the champions. Halberdiers more of an issue. And yeah, a lot more trade cards for the Art of War compared to the Strange Hunters. Well, Castle TAW, so slightly fighting back a little bit here, but look at the map control for the Strange Uncles now. They're relying on Slavs castles rather than bombard towers here for defense, at least for now. When Treb's going down to the mighty elite battle elephants over here. Now officially inside of TAW's base as well. A resource situation okay-ish still, but then you need to deal with raids all of a sudden in the trade of elite battle elephants, so not exactly speedy, but you still need to commit some resources over here while the rest of the forces of the Strange Uncles can keep pushing the choke point and deal with castles. Halberdiers from the Strange Uncles again here, but Knisse safely behind, another castle gone down, and not really many defensive fortifications left for TAW. And now, probably the reason why the Strange Uncles didn't expand the trade route is it makes it easier to control with your defensive fortifications to position the castles like this. So that could be a reason that they don't want a larger field at that stage in the game to protect for the trade. Could always just expand later on. And there we have it. Strange Uncles taking the designated neutral first game map against a heavy feudal age, the Art of War effort in the early game, but it never quite got into the Strange Uncle's side, so that is obviously a concern. Long drawn out Imperial Age battle here with basically all of the Imperial Age upgrades you could think of. Very late Paladin here from the Paladin civilization of TAW, but of course the elite war elephants did give them a push forward for a while there. Really well played indeed. I believe it's going to be Nomad next. Just want to have a look at the KD situation here. Which is over 1,000 for all of TAW here, but that's mainly fighting against trash units. Gold income, should be higher as well because they were trading with a lot more trade cards. However, happy to end with more resources collected overall. Relic gold comparable, I guess. And he did get 7 relics in the end, and he also collected the 2 remaining relics earlier, I guess. Yeah, and the uptimes, fast feudal ages here, not doing enough. Your research paper money as well, nice. That probably fielded a few elite battle elements as well. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go into the draft and show the Persians, Mongols, and Turks, losing that one to the Bohemians, Slavs, and Vietnamese. Our next map is gonna be Nomad, where we'll not see Persians. So we'll see Berbers, Italians, and then what, Saracens for the galleys? But Saracens would be handy for Chaos Pit as well. But then again, Byzantines is also a good one for Chaos Pit. Berbers, Saracens, Italians would be my guess, and then there's definitely going to be Malians for Nomad. And I expect Japanese as well. And I think Bengalis because they're self-healing ships, but let's just hop into game number 2. Right, Saracens, Italians, Berbers, Team TAW on their home map, where we have Red Kansky with the Malians, Happy the Andy with the Japanese, and Midu with the Portuguese here. So they've subbed out. Where did they sub out? Mr. Fluffy Bunny subbed out for Red Kansky. This one. There we go.
Yes.
A little bit of a chat about the spectator. Good to have that cleared up. Could be a spectator delay for the lobbies, but always good to know if someone is covering it. Anyway, let's have a look at the town center positioning here. Happy the Andy settling quite close to the edge, but not close enough for galleys, and galleons to pose any threat to this town center. It's joined by Red Kansky over here with the Malians on the hill, but also kind of in between red and orange, which means that Red Kansky will probably risk having to hold against 2 players, which could be a good thing because it could allow Happy the Andy to expand and boom with the Japanese, unless Happy the Andy goes for naval fighting up in the north, or for Midu to expand to the south as well. But Midu will probably want to try and, assuming he can find the Italians to the north here, to try and contest that town center with a gas-lace push with the Portuguese. Of course, the Portuguese could also take some responsibility for water, but it all depends on how your start turns out. You need to have good access to food and a fluent Dark Age economy to justify extended justify being the naval fighter for your team. Saracens have faster firing galleys, so they are definitely a contender for water here. Italians also have bonuses for water, but they are as frequently picked on Nomad for their faster, no, cheaper fishing ships, and the fact that their unique unit, the Genoese crossbowmen, is a very Good anti-cavalry unit. So, not to mention the Condottiero in the Imperial Age, which is sort of a shortcut to a champion-like unit. And it's also got bonus damage against gunpowder. Alright, looks like they've found someone. This is a no treaty, no bad script, so they don't get these yellow lines as the town centers complete, but there are standard nomad rules for the first 3 minutes, so you won't run into villager fighting and laming of villagers and other huntables. Let's speed it up a bit because nomad tends to bring very little Dark Age action. Yes, they have good scouting here, TAW. Positioning is okay as well. Arivion could still expand to the north and get a decent boom going there. And Godfather is going to town on the boars here, collecting several of them. Got one quite close to the town center as well. It's a significantly earlier Feudal Age here for TAW. And that means that they will try to take water. Okay, we had a galley queued there for the Italians, but Arion actually cancelled it. It's quite close to orange, so they probably communicated that I'll be going galleys, you can go ferry galleys. That's a pretty heavy emphasis on water for TAW, and it's not ideal here. It's far distance to go for the Midu with the Portuguese over here. And Happily Andy up north as well. It's safe for now. He's making the fire galleys as well, so he could make life awkward for the Godfather here, who at least has the slightly faster moving fishing ships. So there's that to outrun or outfloat the fire galleys. Let's have a look at their scouting. So Andy doesn't really know that red is this close. So usually you see players send one fishing ship to the sides to get some idea of the enemy's dock location. But not so much the case for Andy. For now though, he's benefiting from the faster working fishing ships of the Japanese. So he'll want to control this side, of course. One fire galley for red can skew the Malians as well. He's in the middle of teal and green, so you shouldn't need to worry too much about fighting for water here. Instead, he's going through the Castle Age. Don't see him on stone yet, but we might see some castles and Geppettos for the Malians here as the game goes on. So Andy's all the way over here with all the fire galleys. Does he have a dock close to here as well? No, not really. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it didn't make sense that the dock moved, or the fishing ship moved all the way from the north side and down there, so that's... I guess that delays the aggression of TAW from that angle as well, so that could be a good move for strange uncles. It took me forever to find out, says the Godfather. Yeah. Hidden dock near the town center. Not bad. Also pulling the fire galley back for repairs. But TAW with the water controlled here for now, at least in terms of military numbers, and it doesn't seem to be setting them too far behind here either. There's only one player, Slaven, committing to the prolonged Feudal Age here with the galleys. The others are all the way to the Castle Age or in the Castle Age. Japanese fishing ships twice the hit points and extra armor. So they are tankier and tougher to take out, and the forced to commit more to the fire galleys. Might want to queue some demolition ships there. There we go. It's in the queue. But is going to lose some of the fish before he can match the numbers of the yellow player here. Fire galley down there as well. Still delaying both yellow and orange from getting to completely take out green and teal here. And there's the mentioned castle Bidu with the Portuguese going to... Wait. Okay, I guess he knows that this was the starting location of yellow from sheep scouting and losing sheep. It's a good estimation. Maybe he's seen some deer or boar carcasses go this way as well. In any case, even though it looks kind of bland, this is a really good castle. Because it goes right on the full wood economy of Irion and forces him to relocate, which sets back the... maybe especially the food and builder production of the Italians quite a bit. Fish still alive for Happy Andy is also now on the way to the Castle Age. And what do you have on land? We have some camels out for Red Kansky. Could be a response to knights on the Berbers, perhaps. It's going to be tough to keep up with the Berbers' cavalry production here for any civilization, with the knights and camels being 15% cheaper. Water has been won by TAW by all accounts. They just need to take out Apediani now. But with the forces on the field, if they go from both angles eventually, to win against Happy forces as well. Happy might get some sneak damage in from the south here though with that sneak talk. At idle time, please look away. Got 2,000 or so. Well, there's that. So, first organ guns out for Bidu. Keeps one close to the starting TC of Irion to... it's not really sniping the builders, but it's also keeping Bidu from being able to stay close there, of course, and... might have picked off some builders on the way, I don't know. So, been able to take out 2 builders after all. That's a funny placement on the organ gun, because if Irion goes for the Mangonel hit on the organ gun here, then he's at the risk of losing some of his own villagers as well. 3 town centers for Slaven here. So going into a bit of a boom with the Saracens. Maybe we'll see Mamluks at some point. Oh, this could get trapped. So Bidu playing the 1 town center aggressive approach here is 100 stone or 75 stone short from another castle, but Irion has a couple of defensive Mangonels here, and the organ gun count isn't as high as you'd hope for at this stage in the game for the teal player. Not that much damage done on the Italians. Irion knows that the top side is most likely up for grabs. It's just slowly moving further and further north to get away from the slow organ gun and castle's push. Ooh, demolition hits on the fish. Nice, cleaning up someone's Laban's fish. There are only 1 fish left. And for all of the control TAW have on the water now, at least for the most part, they're really not capitalizing on it with more fish. As fish are really inefficient now, traveling so far to drop off the food. And these distractions has proven useful topside here to really force TAW to invest and keep investing for a while into the naval side of things. And what loading happening over here? We do with the monastery out to be able to deal with cavalry of the Berbers that could dive in and snipe the organ guns. No second castle for Bidu after all, even though the stone suggests that that might happen. 2 monks out. Might still be justified for the Godfather to dive, but obviously he doesn't want to go too close to the Portuguese castle either. There we go, found the sneak dock in the south. Last line of naval defense for the strange uncles to be dealt with here. So with more military, yes, but some of that's naval units, so the overall land military situation is comparable for the two teams. Just assume the fish were gonna die. Sometimes that's a good move if you feel like you're going to be able to extend that economy on land anyway. Trying the masterpiece trap there, Happy Dandy, but not succeeding completely to funnel the Knights and Camels of the Godfather into Town Center Fire for some additional damage. TAW ahead in economy. I guess that's the fish, that the few of those that are still working. But now with pikemen added by Happy Dandy, the cavalry play of the Berbers isn't nearly as strong anymore. Japanese infantry attacks faster as well, or attack faster, so doing some work against the cavalry investment of the Godfather here. Only 2 town centers for the Godfather, but that's to be expected when you're going for the Berbers and the Knights Camels approach. We want to stay at the lower economy for a bit longer to be able to make use of these civilization bonus. Red Kansky and Godfather with comparable economies, but with the pikemen joining in here with Happy Dandy, they're looking at a much better fight against the Berbers than the Camels alone would do, even though Red Kansky might have been able to go it alone as well. Push to the north, not really doing that much though, but it's transitioning into a monk trebuchet push here, which might not at all be a bad idea. However, Irion is well ahead to the Imperial Edge due to the relocation and the ability to collect safe golds, stones, defensive castle here, buying some time, keeping that slow Portuguese push away. So that could be the end of Midu there, or at least force Midu to call for some help from the mobility of Red Kansky to the right-hand side. Mamelukes indeed, quite a few of them for Slaven now at 3 town centers and 2 castles, soon to be 2 castles, so incapacitating a lot of the farming economy of Red Kansky with just that 1 castle over here. Trebuchet out for Irion before Midu can even get to the Imperial Age here of his own. It is 2 castles to 1 though, so Midu still might be able to take a decent engagement against the opponent's trebuchets over here. And now we have the Condotieros out and about for the Italians player as well, going to chase a lot of villagers here. It could be lots of villager kills for Irion top side here, as Red Kansky is trying to flee from the aggression at home base, desperately trying to relocate both left and right to the north where there's resources to be taken, but the Condottiero will want to word in on that, and Slaven with the Mamelukes presumably is getting lots of... Oh, it's not the Mamelukes killing units, maybe that's just the fish first and foremost that have been taken out. No, has to be villagers. Something has taken out lots of villagers slaving around here. Nomad at his best. Sneak one builder here, one builder there, desperately trying to get the reboom going. But currently, the Art of War are with the advantage here. They have a 50 eco lead now, and they are keeping higher military value and larger numbers as well. Slowly claiming more and more of the map. And there we are with the mobility again. The Godfather standing on top of the town center spot here, so the builders don't even get to start that town center. I wonder if he did that on purpose, that even thought there was a foundation going up on the goal there. Villagers fighting a camel of the Berbers. Admittedly lacking some upgrades here, but we see casts going up, which means that Camel Archer might be the long-term unit here for the Berbers. And now Red Katsky wants the town center over here as well, so now happy the Andy can't place it here after all. Rat mode engaged. Says up for me, dude. Trebuchet situation not quite there, but looks like he might want to go for bomber cannons instead, so you'll be able to snipe trebuchets at a distance. Not the arrows diving against organ guns, but they'll either die to the organ guns or lose the conversions. Quite a few monks, and more monks to come here. Very important for Mido to keep those defensive fortifications up so that the Italian player can't freely roam in here with the arrows. Lacking a lot of upgrades for now. Still providing some melee strength and mobility. Some Berbers cavalry raids down south, but cleaned up by the Japanese halberdiers, not halberdiers, but pikemen. I suppose we'll see the halberdier research soon enough, as the resources allow for having any. Maybe it's good behind production somewhere. But the Art of War still well ahead, especially in the economy here. Yes, the military numbers are deceiving because there are still naval units that haven't been deleted. That's 13 naval units. So in fact the land armies numbers are slightly higher for the strange uncles. Maybe Midu can push back over here. It's basically a 1v1 on this side, and Happy Andy helping to fortify the middle side here against raids and whatnot. Good thousand for Arion now to take out stolen access for Red Kansky over here. Red Kansky really taking a beat in this game, lost almost 100 eco units and is currently down to 25 builders. I missed how much is actually lost here. Now is attempting the reboom inside of the safety of Midu's base, which isn't that safe considering the amount of the arrows out on the field now. Had to say something. I'm just looking at the colors, not the numbers. That's why I didn't realize it was that low. Halberdiers, basically the only means to deal with mass elite Mamluks. You still need to get close, and they are wrecking. With some upgrades still missing for the Halberdiers as well, and the spam numbers not quite there yet. Happy Andy got some place to expand to the south yet, but it's struggling for Strange Uncles, struggling kind of with the map positioning here. Is so much control for the Art of War. The west and northern side here now. See some blue dots here and there, but once this castle is dealt with against Red Kansky, is going to lose control of all of this over here as well. So that's not really going, not necessarily going to last that long for Red Kansky. Praetorias for Midu. Running low on resources or what? No. Desperately trying to convert some of the arrows here, but the number of them, more than 30, as opposed to only 7 monks, so that's just not enough for Midu to get away with it. It has taken surprisingly low losses so far this game, all things considered. But now, finally about to lose the castles here to the Italian bombard cannons, protected by the conduit arrows. And aside from the monks, there's not really much military Midu can field here to keep these guys away. "45 elite Mamelukes and counting, and trebuchets pushing inside of Habity and his base as well. Feels like TAW aren't really focusing on Red Kansky at all anymore. Don't worry too much about the top side here. That could backfire in other scenarios, but now looking at the overall military and economic stats, I am not too worried about TAW losing this match. And there we go. GG is called. Fish still at work for TAW here, and they're taking the home map for a 1-1 for this best of 3, and we're going into a decider game on Chaos Pit. KD ratio for the Saracens, though, the elite Mamluks basically boom into elite Mamluks, or rather feudal galleys play into Castle Age boom and Imperial Age elite Mamluks. So no land range units for Saracens for once. Much better resource collection, generally few eco units lost for TAW. They lost some to some cavalry raids at some point, but relocated at just the right time and kept most of the economy safe to gain a serious advantage entering the Imperial Age. Yeah, it was the kind of situation where one player might get the free boom if another can hold the 2 vs 1. Set up nicely for that. What a teammate. What do we have? Saracens and Italians against Malians, Portuguese, and Japanese. Which leads us to Chaos Pit, which should be Ethiopians for the instant 100 gold once we reach the next stage. Byzantines probably a given, because Chaos Pit you need to get through the woodlines to collect the gold outside of the 3 barriers. And I suppose it's going to be the Magyars then. I'm not going to completely rule out the Britons, but they shine from the Castle Age onwards, and we need gold for the archers to benefit from that. So I think Magyars, Ethiopians, and Byzantines for TAW, and then it's going to be Franks for sure for the strange uncles. Goths comes to mind for cheaper infantry. Maybe a rush on the woodline, and Incas for cheaper towers, perhaps. Bengal is an off-pick, but you could still pull off some nice Castle Age Monk Siege push with the Bengalis, for example. Let's mark the map as well. Entering Chaos Pit as the last one. Game 3. Britons are indeed picked. Otherwise, we have the civilizations as expected. Yeah, split it is. Are we going to see any laming efforts here? You could manage to pick up some water buffaloes if you're lucky in the early game. I would think you might need Mongols for that, though, to get close enough. The players just going for the deer pushing. You could send villagers forward to try and lame the opponent's deer as well, so they can't push them in. That would be making some serious early game damage on this map, because the food is, if not scarce, it's on the slower side, because you have two berry bushes, and you have the hunt, and you have the water buffalo. And in the case of the strange uncles, they picked Incas. Why Incas? Because with the Incas team bonus, you all get 1 llama each to begin the game. So that's 100 food extra for the team per player. As far as the civilizations go, Goths, CJ, the Strategos on the left-hand side, strange uncles using all of their lineup here, which is nice to see players subbing in throughout the set. That's why we have 6 spots, people. Don't just use 3 of them. and that's not a criticism to any team in general. It's just that a lot of teams only use their top 3 and barely use the others, which is a bit unfortunate for equal matchups sometimes. The seeding is based on the 3 highest players, so whatever the teams choose to do aside from that, that's their business. Don't really have anything else to do than to recommend to sub out some players for more even matchups sometimes in some divisions. Franks for Happy Andy. Franks forage berries 15% faster. They also have stronger scouts until bloodlines can be researched. So it's probably going to be a scouts opening from the Franks. Cheaper castles as well, so your stone is going to come in handy for that. On the right hand side we have Mr. Fluffy Bunny, as mentioned, with the Incas providing 1 llama for each of the teammates. Has cheaper stone costing buildings in general. And almost gets a builder pick off there before Loom is researched. Did get the builder pick off! Nice! Sneaky villager pick off from Mr. Fluffy Bunny there, of course sacrificing hit points on the Eagle Scout, but if the Eagle Scout makes it all the way back home, he can just heal that one up inside of the town center, but I think the Red Scout will catch up. And there we go, down he goes. That's still massive value though, to take out 1 villager from the Britons here. That's 1 less villager to cut through the woodlands, or 1 less villager to bring in wood. And you always have to micromanage your lumberjacks near the edge of the map here, so that you get through to the gold as quickly as possible. And hitting the Britons that way is going to delay the Britons' ability to get to the gold in the back, and maybe delay their archers significantly. In the pocket for TAW, we have the Goth Father as the Magyars. Probably one of the better civilizations to contest the Franks in the early feudal age, as the Magyars get the melee attack upgrades instantly. And the scouts are 15% cheaper. Let's see if they spot the planned Goths Drush moving out there now. Looks like CJ is going to move out to try and delay and deny wood access from the opposing flank, but Slaven, expecting what might happen, sends out the villager to wall near the woodland. It's going to be tough for CJ to hit the woodland in particular. Only 2 villagers here dropping through here though, but for the Ethiopians in particular, you are even going to be able to queue a couple of archers in the feudal age, even without the gold access in the back. Or just get a Men at Arms upgrade, because you get 100 food, 100 gold once you reach the next stage. That's 3 village out. That means that CJ will not be able to... Oh, never mind, he is able to afford loom. So that's the Goth's cheaper infantry making that possible. But that Drush isn't going to get anywhere near that woodland. They'll have to take the long way around the town center, so unless they can break through this house somehow, they're not going to be doing much. This drains wood though, and it takes villagers off work, so it's still arguably value for CJ. Village on the way for basically all of the players here. It's slightly earlier for TAW, which means that Blanks might have their military out earlier. However, Happy Andy earlier with the scouts going up at a 19. Well, it is 20 population, but it's still faster than the Magyar's 21. This is a proper good map. Take Chariot. That's a bit. It's exactly as what it sounds like. Brings chaos. We do a random first tower for Mr. Fluffy Bunny here, also with a barracks right next to it. I don't know how far he's gonna get with that first tower. And it's also spotted by Irion. But it goes right on the production, which might not be a bad thing. Not the tower. That does reach the stone though, so I can't really play against that all that much. Spearman out for Arion with the Britons, not going to make any archers anytime soon, needs to get to the goal on this side. Now, the previous time I saw the Strange Uncles play this as their home map, they would get to the backside quickly and start walling out the access from to the middle from the outside. And if you get to that early enough, the other team won't get to the golds and stones at all, but I think TAW have seen straight through that so far in the game. They are not going to allow that to happen with the rush, not really getting any value here for CJ. Mr. Fluffy Bunny losing the forward villagers with the Incas. And even though the army and ego situation is close, it's currently looking to be in TAW's favor. More Goths infantry added here, some spearmen. Are we getting close to getting through? Happy Andy almost through. So, to some extent they've delayed TAW here, but now there's an opening for the Godfather and he's going straight for the gold. He hit jackpot with the lumbercamp placement as well. Actually able to see the gold right away. Tower for Mr. Fluffy Bunny, but a good defensive tower for Irion here. That's probably going to be... Now he is on stone, so we might see more defensive towers. Might need one on the woodline here as well, even though he's about to get through, so he could probably relocate the woodline further away. Lots of trash units on the field. Skirmishers for the Britons for the time being, but once they get access to gold, they'll switch into archers, presumably, because there aren't really any skirmishers out for the Strange Uncles. Not yet, anyway. Another barracks even for Irion to double up on the scouts production. Are there that many scouts? There are 5 scouts for Happy Andy. As they found a way through here. No, here's Mr. Fluffy Bunny. He is through and he sent the builders right on time to wall out Irion, and there's the tower. There's the same play as we saw the last time the Strange Uncles played this game. It's a smart play if you're fastest through to the backside, because then you can do things like stuff like this and make it so much tougher for your opponent to easily get to the middle side. Of course, Irion can still get through at the Godfather's side, but you know, if you don't expect it, Mr. Fluffy Bunny can just move further over to this side and try to deny Godfather from getting further out of zone. This is huge value here. Irion completely off wood now. Goes for a lumber camp further in the back, and this is not going to last very long. It's a horrible lumber camp at that. It just borders 2 trees. He's panicking a little bit here now. And Mr. Fluffy Bunny is happy with the damage done. He's just going to move right onto the next target and maybe deny some gold and wood off the Godfather as well, if he's able to do it sneakily enough. Obviously, it's a drain on Mr. Fluffy Bunny's economy and resource income, but his job this game is to do exactly this, to deny the opposing side, and he's even walling off here, just in case Iron somehow breaks through and wants to move further in this direction, I guess, or maybe just doesn't want raids to enter from this angle. So that seriously compromises the resource income of Iron. Look at that stone in the back. Yes, food and wood. Got some military units out on the field, but obviously no gold access unless he moves over to the Godfather's side. And now Mr. Fluffy Bunny is not going further with the tower for now, but he's going to add some archers instead in the ring side, while the Godfather is finding some value on Happy Day. And this wood line here did make an opening, I presume, so maybe a little bit of a missed the attention a little bit there of Happy Day, or maybe they deleted the wall to let some units through. There's options here, but that's value for the Godfather. 6 villagers killed. Check the castle drop. There's no castle drop. But yeah, I'll look for it. I guess that was an attempted castle drop then. Not happening for CJ, but looks a bit. Just going for another attempt. There's so many scouts here from the Godfather, and CJ, instant lure not for Goths, is ridiculously high. Idle Townsend time here now and tries once again for a castle close to the Townsend at home. That castle foundation is so low HP you could even almost take it out with the armies currently on the field. Yeah, that's not gonna happen for CJ. He'll need to find a better plan for that castle. There are just too many military units here for TAW to stop that castle from happening. Great action and reaction there. Now let's see. Did you make any archers or anything? No. Okay, so the backside isn't really scouted here for the strange uncles. Castle foundation still trying to go up here. At what cost for CJ? He's lost 7 villagers, but he's got almost 7 minutes of idle this time as well. That castle is eventually going to complete, but at what cost? Look at the Goths economy here. You're not going to make any households even with this kind of economy. Full on trash with Britain's TAW. Mr. Fluffy Bunny on the way to the castle as well at 46 villagers going up. Almost enough stone for a potential castle drop on the Frankish side, but the Franks player, or Britain side I mean, but the Britain's player in the castle age well ahead of Mr. Fluffy Bunny, so that's not going to happen. Not enough stone for a castle for Irion, but we'll probably get through eventually. Further away from Mr. Fluffy Bunny's tower and be able to produce the strong Britain's range units. Both pockets now producing the knights, and looks like the Godfather has the advantage here. He's also killed 20 villagers this game, so TAW massively ahead, 136 to 100. And Teal's woodline says the Godfather. What woodline? Okay, we need to see what happened here. Oh. Okay, so the light cap raids, that was a little while ago actually. Once again, finding the opening. There's a hole there that really comes to bite Happy Andy in the ass there. 10 military against 32, 100 to 138. This is the Strange Uncle's home map, but it doesn't look like it at this point, even though Mr. Fluffy Bunny had did some good damage to the Britons, effectively taking them off gold. It keeps the annoyance going. Sneaky tower with only one villager on the gold here, but it's too late. You're not going to deny anything here with the tower. I have a feeling that trade card might be a mistake. But might as well put it to work when you made it anyway. Double stable. Oh, why? So happy the Andy has wood access as well. He does not have any wood. He buys wood to place a lumber camp somewhere because he's not too confident to get that town center completed, I guess. He's placing the lumber camp close to the castle at home base instead. Okay. BJ's idle time just keeps ticking, but at least he has 2 town centers to produce from in the long term now. We managed to produce some Huskarls as well, but the Magyar's Knights should be able to deal with that. Military advantage increasing further for TAW here. They are now at 50% more economy overall than the strange uncles here, so it's really snowballing out of control for the strange uncles here. Britain's crossbows now out with their bodkin and all, with the extra range that entails. Going to stop Mr. Fluffy Bunny from quickly fixing this gate over here, so that ram can deal with the tower, no problem. So, some eagles might stop this ram still, and the crossbows, but overall, huge advantage for the strange uncles here as Happy Andy cleans up the trash armies and the crossbows of the Ethiopians with the few knights that he has. Power at least a little bit annoying, but that's about that. That's about it. Now with cleaning up the trash armies of the TAW, the strange uncles are creeping closer to the military numbers, but they're still so far behind in the economy, and as the war town centers pop up for TAW here, they're just really taking the time to secure the map, wall off, keep any aggression away from both sides, so that they can use their economic advantage to push the game in their favor. How many villagers to take out the Magyar's Knight? Skilled 7 villagers, so he's had some serious value, okay. 19 villagers lost for Mr. Fluffy Bunny, 19 villagers lost for Happy Andy, 7 villagers only somehow lost for CJ, even with that Titanic Castle drop, but the idle town center time is still a massive issue for the blue player. Eagles amassed for Mr. Fluffy Bunny over here. Don't think Arion has enough to deal with this unless he gets some spectacular mangonel shots in here on these Eagles, almost fully upgraded for Castle Age units. So that's going to clean up the Britain's crossbows for now, and once again deny Arion from town centering this area where that pressure gold is situated. Why not just move over to this side though, where the Godfather has control? It's a little bit too insistent to insist upon getting over here, even if it's a long way for the villagers to walk. I think it would have been a better option a while ago to just move over here to have gold access for the Britons as well. I like eagles, says Plant Chariot. The Godfather, guys, can we just GG? Was that the early game or what? Arion was saying GG. Yeah, that makes sense. But if you look at the economic damage the Godfather has been doing here, the seem to have the game under control. Knights should be able to clean up the Eagles as well, at least if they stay together. That's kind of a given here. You need to keep the armies close together because the Eagles do have some bonus damage against cavalry. Now the Goths castle going up here, but Petards just not entering in time. Good reaction from Slaven over here. Now once again keeping the threat of the Goths safely away. Even a house foundation here, just in case of the Petards trying to break through. That's gonna be annoying, but you just make a few show tells and I think you clean up these as well. No problem.
Mandatum.
Those are going to clean that up for sure. They're just melting the Huskarls here. Could be a... yeah. Showtails much higher damage output than the Huskarls. Lower hit points of course, but... certainly trade well in that situation. Happy Andy extending to try reboom. I'm surprised they didn't wall off the side yet somewhere around here. I mean, maybe not with the Goths because Goths don't get stone walls, but surely they'll want to keep raids out from the sides as well. Those are one of two dual wielders. What's the other one then? Two-handed swordsman? Heh. I'm just kidding. Oh, pretty cool. The Shotel Warriors. Eagle's still doing work. Fluffy Bunny could even significantly delay this castle of the Godfather. As the Knights masses, where are they? They're out of position. So Eagle's gonna get some value here. Finally, Godfather might lose his first few villagers. That's the first villager the Godfather has lost so far this game. Oh, extending the boom to the south. There's some Knights over here as well to maybe clean up the annoyance of Mr. Fluffy Bunny to this side. This just the area just is just begging for a castle drop on Mr. Fluffy Bunny over here. Arian could wall it out as well. There we go. Yeah, he's walling the production area here. But Fluffy Bunny with the monks is targeting the villager just to make sure that the walls can't complete that easily. And to the Eagles again as well to keep that away. CJ, credit to CJ for stabilizing here. He was on at almost down to almost 20 villagers at some point, and now should get back to 67. The strange uncles are still got a long way to recover here because there's still 50 eco units behind, but they're massing armies and they're applying pressure. I'm just not sure if they're doing enough damage here to make a comeback here, should we say? I mean, economy isn't everything. You have to use your armies as well. Eagles been cleaned up now, and we see Mr. Fluffy switching over to archers. Incas here could also what kind of teammate is this? Ah, there we go. Yeah. Trapping his own teammates units. What is that? It's just a statement that can we resign already? Trap your armies so we can just call this. He released them, so that's fine. It's nice. They also kept the wall open, which is not nice. Now Mr. Fluffy Bunny is able to move through here again.
Ready.
Imperial Age on the way for both red and yellow here, which means we'll have Cavaliers for the Magyars at about the same time as the Franks. Happy the Andy has some pretty fluent triple stable production here, so that's going to be good. And we'll have the stronger Paladins eventually as well. War town centers. Let's see the town centers situation here. Actually, more town centers total for the strange uncles. Quite the chunk of showtels here. A good reaction to the Goths, I'd say. Not that there's much Goths infantry on the field currently. And CJ might lose the comeback that he's been making. He's definitely going to lose some of his presence down to the southwest here. Trying to scramble up some houses to delay the military movement here, but the showtels moving out. Maybe we'll even see elite showtel is on the way. Getting some good raids in here, and castles will be a stopper for these glass cannons of a unit, but we're still gonna get some juicy military kills over here, and the siege weapons joining as well. 4 trebuchets to take out the castle that they will eventually spot over at this side. Those TAW pushing yet again. Now going to punish Fluffy Bunny on the right hand side here. He is at 70 villagers, but once this area gets removed, it's not really going to have that much left at home base. Pretty convincing military lead for TAW at this point. I guess more showtels in the queue as well. They'll need some production closer to this side for this push to really be efficient, but get enough showtels and even they can eat town centers quickly because of their 17, no, 18 plus 2 attack, in fact. And some bonus damage against buildings as well. And they move quickly, so it's hard. Even cavalry will struggle to keep up. At least until it has to be. Yeah, also they're going down just like that. Trebuchets as well. Completely outprotected though, so maybe forcing some of the units to pull back here. Good attention to not forget about the middle as well. Castle going up in the middle, so CAJ is being pushed at 2 angles here now, and he just doesn't have the means to produce military to hold off this. It's only when it arms for the Goths. Maybe if you get to champions, but still champions against showtels. Not too sure about that. They train so quickly. And yeah, they just slay. Serious chunk of Britain's crossbows out here now. They outrange the Inca's crossbows by 1 here, maybe even 2, because we are in Imperial Age, and then Bracer will kick in as well. So that's going to be 3 range difference once Bracer can be researched for Slaven. I'm a bit surprised it's going for Chemistry ahead, or Arbalester ahead of Bracer here, but maybe because Britain's particularly, because they now have 5+5 range. Britons have Bracer. I'm just looking at the wrong player here. I was looking at the Ethiopians, which obviously don't need it with the hotel investment. But that's it. Claiming both the middle and the sides here for TAW, taking the last game as well. Great set. Seemed even and competitive, but TAW getting out on top in the end. Well played indeed. Let's browse through the stats once again. Godfather dominating this game as well with some serious cavalry raids here. 185 units killed. Economy situation great. Economic boon there, happy. The Andy doing well as well. But not enough to bring the game back. But yeah, they were getting closer with the constant annoyance of Mr. Faboni, especially the Eagles. Did lots of damage. As you can see, the KD is not half bad, but CJ just took such a beating as the Goths there. So the Goths did really contribute, and with the Shotils out for the Ethiopians, it's hard to make the Castle Age infantry work for the Goths as well. That's it. GG.